We're back with another Bears show. I'm trying to hold back my frustration, but HBO did have a delay. Nonetheless, we were able to watch Hard Knocks, but it was about an hour late. I'll say this, it was a great show. Before we get started, as we usually do, let me go ahead and pump the brakes before I get in, a little animated. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the Tape Never Lies Network. Make sure you become a patron at www.thetapeneverlies.com. Now, let's get this out of the fucking way because it's going to take away from what the show was, which was quality, pretty good. What was the delay for? Was the delay because of the live stream on like a wired connection? Was it because there was were the same hackers that Elon and Trump faced in the crowd tonight for Hard Knocks? I doubt that. But what was the issue that we had to wait an extra hour? Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, excuse me. I had to go on an extra 2 hours, so we had to wait an extra hour for the show, and now I have to go on at 10 o'clock. Nonetheless, I love that you guys here, all 44 of you right now. But damn, why did we have to do that? I have to go to bed soon, and I'm going to deliver this. Like, we're going to be here for a little bit. But look, HBO, you need to explain yourself. What the hell was this? Like, why did this happen? 8 o'clock last week, 9 o'clock this week. On the East Coast, you got, 10 o'clock. Like, I know, New York never sleeps, but some people take a nap sometimes. Yeah, see, HBO had it live at 8 p.m., but there was nothing for the streamers. So it was like, we're sitting here in limbo. What do we do? Is it going to come on? Should we go to bed and wait for tomorrow? Like, what was, I have the show that obviously I'm glad to be here on, but I also have other priorities that need to be taken care of. Not saying that it's, like I said, I just want to, we're going to get rid of this bad juju right here because it was an overall a great episode. I would like an explanation, and I would like for this never to happen again. 8 o'clock last week for the first show, 9 o'clock this week. That's not consistency. I'm sorry for hitting the mic. That's not consistency. That's no bueno. Not good. Not good. A lot of people were very upset, and they've expressed and voiced their frustrations on X. And like I said, HBO has a lot of hashtags going about. They are definitely trending. I would say in the Chicago Bears community, they're definitely trending. We'll see if they're trending as far as mainstream is concerned. But nonetheless, let's get into the show. Forget HBO. Appreciate you guys doing Hard Knocks, but how about you do it right and be consistent with your timing? All right. So we saw a great show. Caleb Williams was, featured a lot more. You saw, and it wasn't necessarily like focal pointing on him. It was, he was just in almost every shot. It was like, you have to keep Caleb involved, and I'm all about it. Marketing is a huge factor. I understand, but the kid has charisma. He has that, like the kids say, and I can't believe I'm gonna say that Riz for the kids. Am I saying it right? It sounds like something else, and I don't want to ever say that again. It's like it was hard to even say that. So first and last time I say that, but he's got a lot of, he's got a lot of juice. He has that gravitas. People are connected to him. He's cool with his peers. I really like that. Loving actually, if we go to like some of the aesthetics of the show, like I love the blues. I love the blues theme. Yeah, I really do. I really love them playing blues in there. You know, it might be just me, but I'm a blues guy. I like listening to blues. I love you know hearing it. It's just it's something that I like to be a part of the show throughout. Maybe not necessarily. I like the way that they utilize. I've been liking the way that they utilize it. Not necessarily like a focal point, but just in the background constantly, like something that is connected to Chicago that I feel like has gotten pushed by the wayside in recent times. So the blues in Chicago, I love that connection. I hope they continue that theme. Another thing that I really enjoyed was seeing finally Roma Dunze, you know, speak a little bit more, be focused on a little bit more. There was a couple questions I had at the end. I don't know if they had mentioned um, talked about his mom or whatnot or what have you. I don't know who that woman is. I don't know if it is his mom, but who I don't know who the woman is at the end of the show with Rome. But did I miss something? Like I mean, I was writing down a bunch of stuff, so like I'm sure I'm going to rewatch it after this show. So I'll tell you that I'm going to rewatch it. But I did like from what I was watching and writing down. Like I was like, I don't believe they mentioned who the woman was. Is that it was his mom? Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you, Chris. That was his mom. It was his mom, Doyle. Thank you, Frank. Thank you as well. So it was his mom. So that was something that I'm like, okay, are we going to be seeing a little bit more of her? Are we going to learn a little bit more of her? Is she somebody that wants to remain private? I don't know, but it was just nice to see that Rome was focused on, and you saw people in Rome's corner and a part of his family. That obviously I've never saw. We heard some of the stories, but like I've never personally seen anybody in his family or in his circle. So to see Rome in a spotlight a little bit more. I love the part where he was talking to the teams and he was telling them exactly what they need to do to get to that next level. And it was all it was literally. And I'll tell you that it's look, I've heard it and my hard-headed ass and like I'm sure there's been plenty of us men that have been out there that have heard it. You have to work hard every day and you have to continue to build on that every single day that's pretty much what Rome's message was to these young men. And then it was just something that a leader does, right? It's something that a guy that values uh, ethics does, and I just appreciated him for doing that. Told those kids the truth. Honestly, to me, he told those kids the truth. So kudos to him. Uh, Also, like I said, he to me right now he seems like he's finding his footing. Right, Caleb's going to be pushed a little bit more into the fray, but he seems to be finding his footing. I believe overall, once it's said and done, Rome's going to be a leader on this football team. He has that personality. He has the right frame of mind. I believe from what I've seen so far that I could almost guarantee that he's going to be a leader in a fixture on this football team for a long time to come. And it's a blessing for the Bears because it's just been so long for us. It's been too long that we've waited for a team that's had a focus, had a purpose, had a plan for beyond. And I think that's what we've gotten. And I'm sorry, I'm sweating my ass off down here. I think that's what we gotten with Ryan Poles so far. And actually, something that he and Ian Cunningham were talking about with Caleb, which was awesome to hear. And there, it was at the beginning of the show. They were watching some film. They were showing like how he. They were like, "Well, go back right there. Like, doesn't he look like he's in a rhythm? Like, doesn't he?" And this is Ian Cunningham's. He knows he's playing. That was like, well, okay, all right. Like the kid understands what's going on around him. He's in the game, not necessarily like he's there, the game's going on around him, and he's trying to figure it out. No, he is involved in the game. There need to be corrections? Will there be mistakes? Of course. But from what I took from that was the like they see what we saw that first game. He knows what's going on. I know there were struggles in camp with the offensive line, but I mentioned before that offensive line didn't show those same struggles during the game against the Buffalo Bills. And, like I saw it in training camp, all the media saw it in training camp. There were legit struggles. Where is Nate Davis? Like we need to put him in. You need to put him in a striped hat, a red and white candy cane hat, a candy cane shirt, and blue jeans with glasses, and he'll be the new Waldo. Because where is Nate Davis? Like that's kind of where I'm at with him. Nonetheless, like the offensive line did a great job against the Buffalo Bills. You'll see the highlights there. On the show, you go back and watch it for yourself. I also liked. There was also a scene, and I know I'm jumping around here, but there was also a scene where Harrison Freed. I didn't get his complete title because I was going back, like I was just jotting stuff down. Um, there was a scene where he's sitting with Caleb and Flus, and they're going over the referee, the officiating crew, and he's talking to Caleb about who is who, what, how long they've been there, what their tenants like, and it's something interesting. He's like, yeah, you probably won't go through these guys for about 2.5 years or so, um, but you know, get to know them, get to know their tendencies, get to know how they're, how they react, what they call, what they don't call, just get to be familiar with them. I thought that was very interesting to be teaching your young quarterback. Definitely giving him the heads up on, how officials react to certain things. Like maybe you'll get away with this, maybe you won't get away with that. I thought it was awesome to see. Definitely a positive. Also, Chad Morton, and if the running backs coach, I really like Chad Morton. He's almost like this Houdini Brown in the corner of the running backs, right? The unsung heroes. Chad Morton also played in this league, in the NFL. He first started out with the Saints in 2000, then with the Jets 2001 to 2002, was with the Washington Redskins in 2003, 2004, and with the Giants in '05 and '06. And I remember seeing Chad Morton also played for USC. I remember seeing him in the league. He's had some highlights. I went back and tried to see if I could get a highlight on here. I saw a few, a kick return especially, but if I play it, I'm probably going to get banned. So I don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to get kicked off or have somebody trying to get some money out of me or something like that. So let's not do that. But Chad Morton overall, man, like I like that he taught. I like that. I like that factor that he's involved like that as a coach. You saw how he was involved with Ian Wheeler. And Ian Wheeler, I didn't know out of Howard, I didn't know Ian Wheeler got into medical school. Like, bro, like, and I could, the only other running back I could think of is Robert Smith from the Minnesota Vikings, Ohio State grad. Was he's a doctor now, Dr. Robert Smith, excuse me, like it's who he is now. So we have a guy in Ian Wheeler that is a very smart young man, is coming into this league hungry. He has he had so much of a jovial type of demeanor. But when it comes to playing football, the guy could run, man. And I told you guys this before. He's not one to be, just passed up by. The guy has legit speed. He runs with purpose. With purpose. And when he goes into a tackle, like if there's nowhere else he's going to go, he's going to fight for those extra yards. You're going to get popped if you're a defender trying to catch Ian Wheeler and thinking he's just going to go ahead and give up and get folded over. No, he's going to fight for those extra yards. If it's 1 yard or a half a yard, I could see it in him. He's the type of back that will go ahead and try to put a helmet on you. But still rookie, still the preseason. Let's see. Let's give him some more. I see that from him. That's what I've seen in training camp so far in a couple games. Ian Wheeler, I really like. And then there's Velus Jones, right? Velus Jones. I've gotten a bunch of people, saying how they were upset about how much Velus was given the spotlight in tonight's show. But let me be the one to tell you, don't you guys fear. It could be a blessing in disguise. Putting the ball on the ground as a returner, putting the ball in the ground as a running back. And yes, some people would say that the pitch from our guy Bajent was, a little bit wide. But if Velus is running through that, he's not, if he's running through that and he's a running back and he understands how to play the game, he's running through that ball, he's catching it, and he's continuing on his way. Velus, to me, has issues with pulling the ball in. He wants to go before he catches the ball. So pitches out of the backfield, to me, are suspect. Even end arounds, like maybe if you toss it within a foot or you just put it in his gut. Up the middle concerns me again. Like it really does. Yeah, like you have a guy that's put the ball on the ground multiple times. Yeah, he's big. Yeah, if you get him into some space, he could run over somebody. But you get into certain situations, you can key in on a guy like Velus Jones. And I think Velus is just an odd man out, man. You haven't done enough. Like if this episode didn't put Velus on blast, then I think Ryan Poles is the only person in the world that thinks Velus deserves a roster spot, even after Ryan Poles, whom I'm a fan of. I'm a huge fan of him. We're all big fans of Ryan Poles here. This would be one of the biggest mistakes, I think. Maybe not one of the biggest mistakes. Let me take this back. Let me bring it down. It would be a big mistake to allow a roster spot to a player who has not proved he deserves or can continue, can constantly or confidently catch a football, can constantly be available to make a play. Every time I see Velus out there, he looks like he's worried about making a mistake. I don't think running back is going to change my mind, man. I think Velus Jones is a guy that's on his way out. Ian Wheeler, Roschon Johnson, Khalil Herbert, you got DeAndre Swift, and that's the 4 horsemen. Do not try to force something that's not. Because if you start giving real reps, to Velus Jones in the regular season, and he puts the ball on the ground, then it'll be even worse, the backlash. You'll have even a worse backlash because Velus shouldn't even be in or on the roster. Do not allow this to happen. If every rep counts, and it's going to be hard to make this football team, I've seen Velus put the ball on the ground twice this year, lose 2 other games in previous years. And God knows I've seen him put the ball on the ground last year as well. Let's not fool ourselves with Velus Jones. It's time to cut ties and wish well. That is my Velus rant. Like it's hard to make to have an argument for Velus Jones other than he's athletic, he's big, he's fast. Can he hold on to the football consistently? Can he, can you trust him to make big plays? No, you could see it in him, but he just doesn't do it enough. He hasn't done it enough. Now we're switching positions with Velus. Let's come on. Come on. If it's going to be hard to make this football team, Velus should be cut this week. Let's move on from Velus. I loved DJ Moore's family being highlighted. The ice cream museum or whatever, wherever they were at. DJ did not like the hot dog. Did not like the hot dog. Neither did his daughter, which and I'll tell you this. I probably wouldn't have liked the shit either. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna hate on what they do. Somebody might like it, but just look at it, I'm like, I don't think so. Not for me. Not for me. But love the idea, love seeing the interactions with the family, with his daughters, seeing a little bit more of DJ, the personality of DJ. For a while, I thought DJ was a robot, but Hard Knocks has given us an insight to DJ a little bit in his family. Just a tad, but hey, I appreciated it. You got to see, DJ outside of football, which was cool. And I don't know if maybe I'm just talking out of my ass, but I don't know if he's. Excuse me, 1 second. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I went on a rant. Jose. Let me go ahead and bring in my guy because I'm a little bit parched and I got to get a beer. But here's my guy, Big Z. Jose Suazazo from 606 Media and True Chicago Sports Fans.
I'm literally cracking up the entire time you're going over this rant, thinking he's a robot. He showed personality. There was a little highlight on him. He was able to show his family and who he was. It was a nice, refreshing little piece that they did there. It was great to see his fiance and his kids, and then actually going out to explore the Chicago scenery, the Chicago Ice Cream Museum, which I haven't gone, and then listening to the part where he tastes the ice cream flavored hot dog with the there's no way in hell I'm having that either. That's just hot dog water with relish and ice cream flavoring. No, I'm good, bro. That is not for me. I will have the pink.
That's what I thought. It was that does not. I mean, like I said, there's some weird shit out there. Like people will eat crazy Doritos, crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like I said, somebody out there probably will like it. Somebody out there like it.
Yeah.
But not my ass. Not me.
No, definitely not a flavor I'm gonna go for. I'm not driving the Malort flavored ice cream as well. That I'm out on that as well. Some people would do that. That is not for me. But just I know it was backstage for a little bit, and I did get here to the Velus Jones rant, which I completely agree with you. If you're dropping everything, you're dropping it on the new kickoff after talking to the ref and still verifying the ref what the rules are, which I completely understand. It's a new rule. You have to, if it goes in the end zone, you have to down or it becomes a safety. It's a live ball. Yes. But why are you trying to field it like an outfielder? That made no sense. Made no sense. And then when you're getting a toss and he's like not in position to cuff the ball with his two hands, you're right. He's moving forward. He's thinking about where's my hole before he has the ball secured. And we all know that ball security is the most important thing when it comes to football, especially on the offensive side. And he can't do that. So I 100% agree that the roster spot that he's holding up would be for maybe the other kid that was highlighted this episode. You know, the soon to be doctor in
Yeah,
Wheeler, and Ian Wheeler,
Dr.
and
Wheeler.
yeah, presumably Dr. Wheeler and
We'll call him Doc Wheeler. It's
Doc
Doc
Wheeler. Yeah,
Wheeler's
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, and you know what? He's just like the Back in the Future. When he gets the ball, all you see is flames behind him because he's gone. Like the man has speed. I mean, he struggled. I seen him in training camp. I did go and I see him drop a couple of balls off the jug machine and stuff like that. But I'll drop balls off the jug machine, so I can't knock him. That's coming at you really hot. And I did like the one-on-one coaching that he's getting.
Mhm.
You know, he's on his ass and he's like, "Hey, man, you're fucking up. You're fucking
Right.
up. That's not acceptable. That's mediocre, whatever you want to say." And that's not our brand of football anymore. We don't deal with that anymore. And that's the biggest reason that you got to get rid of Velus Jones. He
Right.
reminds me of Petey. Put him on defense.
Put him on defense. I see, and is that the next
There's no
step?
room.
Is
There's
that
no
the
room
next?
for
Yeah, is that the next step for Velus Jones? A
no,
defensive no, yeah, linebacker. I would say maybe put him at linebacker, fast linebacker. Now, like let me stop with the jokes.
mm-hmm.
Ian Wheeler, I think, younger, understands the position, doesn't need constant training and constant, coddling
Yeah.
in order to get the production we need. Velus Jones, thank you, sir. It's been nice.
See you in
You
the
have you haven't see you around. You
in the
haven't
XFL.
yeah wherever you go. Like wish you luck, but it's just not going to be here, especially if the standard is the actual standard
Yeah.
from which Ryan Poles, the general manager, set. So
Mhm.
yeah, Velus is to me is a wash. Jose, what other before I know you have you got work and everything. So do I. It was
Yeah, today was the
trust me.
first day.
I went off on HBO for us
Oh, you
all.
did go. You did go off. Oh, I
A
didn't get
little
to hear
bit,
that.
a little bit. It's at the beginning. Like there's probably more to be said, but I wanted to get into the football stuff.
Yeah, let's stick to the
Um,
football stuff because
yeah,
everybody had the issue because
right,
whatever. Yeah, yeah.
right.
Let's just get
So
into the football part. My biggest thing is that they
yeah,
focused on the quarterbacks, and I really did
yes.
enjoy that. Obviously, we know what Caleb is, and we saw that in the preseason game.
Hmm.
But the focus, what it's going to be for the quarterback number 2 and number. I mean, I don't think they're holding 3 quarterbacks. So, is it going to be Bajet? Is it going to be Reed? Is it going to be Rippin?
Yeah.
Like, I think all of them have performed very well because they are competing at their level, right? You got Reed competing against the third and fourth stringers. You got Rippin against the second and third, and you got Bajan against the second team. I think all of them are doing very well because they do know the offense, and I think that um, it, the offense doesn't really lag. And I understand it's second, third, and fourth, graded
Hmm.
guys that are playing, but there's not really a drop off because if they score 33 points and they're like, "Oh, we can run the ball with the new kid.
Hmm.
Keep giving him the ball."
Right.
It's simple as that. And I did love that on the defensive side. Flus is like, "We're not leaving this game without a takeaway."
Hmm.
And poof, we get a pick six. It was beautiful. It was
Yeah,
beautiful.
the Hound of Baskerville. I love that entire sequence
Yeah,
from HBO and Liv Shriver. Like it was looking for a hound and they got one. You know what I mean? Like that was a cool. The entire thing was cool about it. You got the pick, the them talking about him. Them hyping him up. All that was great. How do you feel about Roma Odunze finally getting the highlights, finally getting a little bit of shine? Do you want to see more Rome?
well, I do want to see more Rome. And I was some of those clips I was there for. Um, Especially in practice. And I think that Rome is still trying to figure out how to be a wide receiver 3 instead of a wide receiver 1. It's a bigger difference. Now he has to come back to the ball and understand where Caleb wants him to be when he's out of the pocket, when it breaks down, where you have to be. We saw that in the beginning with DJ Moore where he ran a route. He saw Caleb was moving out of the pocket and he ran back in and he caught the pass. That's understanding what the quarterback needs from you as a wide receiver rather than sticking to what your route is. So if his route was on that play was I probably was a 7 and in, and he's telling Rome, I need you to go on the outside because there was no one there. And if you're a one-on-one, I can throw it really high. And if you drop it, it's out of bounds. Don't worry about it. But I'm putting it only where you can find it. So if a play is breaking down, I need you to turn around and see where you're at and break from the route. Don't stick to the route because that's the middle. That's where everyone was going. And he let him know, I need you to do this. And then you saw on the next play in practice, he actually did do that. So I think that's the adjustment for Rome is learning to play with Caleb. It's a whole new quarterback. It's a whole new system.
Even though they're friends, like you still got to learn. Yeah.
Yes, and it goes back to because I'm pretty sure we kind of had the same growing up where we played football with our friends, and we played with them for so long that we had like a telekinesis of like, hey, I know you're going to be open when you do this, or if I'm rolling out, to look back and head to the corner or to the sideline, and I'll hit you in the chest. It's the same kind of thing. It takes a long while to get that chemistry, and I think it's easier for the veterans because they've done that with higher rated quarterbacks. Not putting Caleb down, but at that point, we're looking at we had what am I losing? Is our second wide receiver.
Oh, Keenan Allen.
Yeah, Keenan Allen. He had a pretty good quarterback out with San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
So, he got somebody that can literally rip the ball to him. So, and, he's been playing for a while. So he understands everything. So I really think that that's going to be the growing pains for him. And I really think he'll grow out of that really quickly and learning how to improvise with Caleb instead of sticking to exactly what's in the playbook.
Right. And that's something that's like, obviously you said it perfectly. It's just, you're going to learn through time. You're going to learn through growing your friends, which is a positive, right? You're real good, friends. Obviously, we've seen that continuously throughout. They've mentioned it themselves, how good of friends they are.
Yeah.
So I would just imagine, like you said, right now Rome is in a position where he just needs to learn how to be a third string wide receiver, right? Not necessarily, a backup or anything. He's definitely going to be out there a lot, but he needs to learn the ins and outs of being a professional wide receiver. And I think that's also, part of it. And somebody was mentioning that they were hiding Rome earlier. Let me see. Yeah, Sean Hall. They've been hiding Rome on purpose, trying to keep him a secret, I think. And I think you're absolutely right, Sean. I think that part of it is, them not wanting other people to be like, okay, this guy is the real deal. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe he's not. Like, not saying that he's not, because I believe it. Like, I've seen it. Like, the guy's he's legit. Like, you just need to groom him in to being a pro and give him the experience. So I'm all about seeing what Odunze has to offer throughout this next these next episodes of Hard Knocks. I just wish there was a little bit more. Like they didn't mention. Did they mention his mom? Did I miss that?
No, they just put her on screen. I was like,
yeah.
Who is that lady?
Exactly. It was like, who is this woman that you're talking about? And I'm like, is there going to be a something that has her name, anything, like, unless it was like something personal with her where she didn't want her name to be out there. But I wouldn't understand, like, you have your face out there, your image out there, your Rome Odunze's mom, like that, and that's just me just probably talking out of my ass. But like I said, why wasn't there any type of introduction to Rome Odunze's mom?
Yeah, they didn't put it on the screen saying this is his mom, but I guess
it said mom.
Our audience saying it said it's mother in a closed captioning, not as a title.
In a closed I gotta go back. I'll
rewatch it.
I'll apologize. I'll eat the crow.
Telekinesis, yes.
Right. I'll eat the crow if I have to, but like, it popped up so quickly, and I was like, who is she? Like, she's like, yeah, all right, Rome. I'm like, oh, because she's got a jersey. Well, she good looking woman, but she's a little older.
Yeah.
Obviously I was like, it's got to be his mom or something. Like, I just didn't see it fast enough. They gotta let people know, or at least give her some plug. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, it's Roma Dunze's mom, Liv Shriver. You can't mention his mom real quick. Like, if somebody would have mentioned his mom, I would have been like, like we would have been, oh, it's his mom. Focus in. What do they have to say about his mom? Like nothing. Like there was nothing
Yeah,
about
we
Rome's
know.
life.
Yeah, because for Reed's family, we
That
know who they are because they said, "Oh, these are his parents," and they've been there for 2 straight games trying to see him get plays. We understood it because they said it there, like this is Reed's parents, and his their son is actually going to get 3 plays, and then the storm came, and he's actually going to play now. We were invested in that. I mean, where's the connection? Come on,
right,
HBO.
right. No, I got lunatic. Lunatic, I know you drunk, but this is the funniest. This is the funny. I gotta save this. I'm glad I put it up. Suddenly, Velus Jones is likable. After like that's what they're trying to do. Like all of a sudden,
They're humanizing him.
Velus
Yeah,
is like a
that's what
yeah.
that is.
They're
That's what they're
trying to
doing.
humanize Velus Jones. Oh, you're I 100% lunatic. I 100%. I definitely agree. How did you feel about Chad Morton, the running backs coach?
Oh,
I
dude,
know,
I
I know you.
was
I know you say. I know you spoke a little bit on it. Like
dude, I was like, this dude's got some fire into him.
yes,
And I love that. I love that because that's just gonna get these guys just amped up to go. And I think between Khalil Herbert, Roshan Johnson, Travis Homer, and
hmm
Wheeler, those guys, they
right.
need that. I don't think Swift needs that. I think Swift has his own, Mercedes Porsche motor that's just gonna go. He doesn't really need that. But the rest of the guys, they need that kick in the ass. Like, hey man, if you can't do it, the guy behind you is gonna do it, and he's gonna take your job. And they need that. We
hmm
really need that, especially with the Bears, because we've been in the middle of the road or at the bottom of the barrel for so many years, and we're known for defense and running the game and running the ball. So let's do it. Yeah, well, Wheeler is soft.
I don't think so, man. I
I
don't
didn't
think.
think so.
I don't think so. I mean, yeah, he knows who Winnie the Pooh is. I know who Winnie the Pooh. Do you know who Winnie the Pooh is?
Right.
I know who Eeyore is. Like, I mean,
Winnie the Pooh is wearing Mickey Mouse's
right.
shirt.
The Thousand Acre Wood. You don't know who Christopher Robin is? Like, what's wrong with you? Did you have
Read
a?
a book. Read a book.
Yeah. Were you locked in a cage, bro? Like, were you stuck in a basement? Like, and I'm all right. I'm going too far. I'm just joking, obviously, but no, I mean, I don't think he's soft whatsoever. I think he's just like a nerd, but
Yeah.
he's very good at football. Like like there's guys out there. I like it. I don't think Ian Wheeler is.
Devin apologized.
Yeah,
Uh,
I don't think Ian
it's
Wheeler
all
is.
in fun and games, man. It's all in fun and
Yeah,
games.
yeah, yeah. I don't think Ian Wheeler is a lesser running back than Velus Jones, and that's why I think he need. Like, if you're going to keep four, keep a guy that knows the position rather than a guy that's
That has 3 days playing it. Yeah, 3 days playing it.
exactly,
No,
exactly.
I'm good. We have a comment here. Do you feel Saturday? Do you feel guys? Do you feel that Saturday will start the first team? I think we are starting the first team. Whether they do or not, that's not our issue. We're gonna work out our guys, make sure our guys get our reps, and move forward from there. So there shouldn't be an issue with our first team getting reps. It may be a little longer, maybe 3 series instead of 2. They're gonna probably fill out the game, especially if they're not playing their first, their starters. Okay, cool, no problem. We're still gonna install what we want to install, do what we want to do, and then we'll get the second, third, fourth quarter to where we can evaluate the rest of the guys that are on the bubble.
I agree, and like I think that, and I mentioned this the other day. I don't give a fuck what Cincinnati does, bro. Like, what
Oh,
does that have to do with me? What does that have to do with my starters who need reps? What does
right,
that have to do with my rookie quarterback who needs reps? My
yeah,
offensive line still is in question. There's too many questions for you to be like, yeah, you're not gonna do it. I guess, yeah, we'll give you the professional courtesy and not start. No, get the fuck out of here, bro. All right. Don't start your guys. Guess what? Your second string is going to get a lot more action. Your third string is going to get a lot more action. And so be it. Our starters need to get reps. I'm not saying they need to play a fucking half right now,
no, no,
because
no.
like from what I saw, like I've reverted Like I'm like maybe a little less, maybe just the same amount. But they need the repetitions in live action.
Is Nate Davis healthy enough to play? Right, that's the question.
I don't know if I give a fuck right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Prior has been looking good. This for the 7-9. Shout out to Big Steve Edwards, because Steve Edwards has been on prior and how his play has been and representing the 7-9. That's Steve Edwards. You know, he wore 7-9. But like at this point, Nate, you're sitting on the bench. Go ahead, collect that check, but you ain't gonna be in the fucking game if you don't know, if you haven't been practicing and are prepared.
Yeah, we talked about it yesterday on True Chicago Sports. Mentioning that it's a soft tissue issue. The soft tissue is right between his legs. Simple as that. Man the fuck up. Are you hurt or are you injured? If you are injured, I can respect that. If you are hurt, you play football. You're going to play hurt the rest of the season. It's just simple as that. If you play football, you know that you're playing at not 100% ever. It's just that what it is, especially playing a line.
Right.
You're gonna. How many times do we see guys with like cast on their legs and cast on their arms, still blocking and it's just what's the issue?
I get it. No, so I apologize to HBO. They did show his mom, Nasia Bunnell. I believe is Rome Odunze's mom. So they did show her. They did give her a little bit of plug, I guess. But
again, it's fresh in our mind.
Yeah, like it was
like, 2 or 3 times before we talk about it.
Right, and trust me, I was already fucking on 1,000.
I know we're talking
HBO,
on the phone. You're
like fucking here with HBO. I called Shane twice. I called you. I called fucking Alan Bratcher of all people had it before anybody. And Alan's got a plug at HBO or something. Alan, I know you're out there somewhere. Where are you? Show yourself.
He's got a fucking direct feed and shit.
Yeah, like what the hell, bro? Like I was almost gonna say, hey, Alan, just jump. Let me just share it, like share screen with me or something. Yeah, whatever.
Did we confirm what the issue was? Was it that they wanted to show it live to the cable and satellite subscribers first, and then put it on the app, or was it that they had an issue putting on?
All I saw was a delay. I don't know exactly.
Yeah, that's what they put on their Twitter, that it's going to be delayed, and it was delayed for what was it, 80 minutes?
Exactly, it was delayed for about an hour, about an hour and 15 minutes.
Actually, something like that. Yeah.
So I mean, nonetheless, like the episode overall, I enjoyed. The like I said, if you're talking about aesthetics, I enjoyed the blues. I enjoyed, them getting, more animated with the highlights, like with the plays and stuff. Like they showed a lot of that Bills game. They showed a lot of the player connections. Theo Benedict still doing his thing out there, even though he's hurt. But nonetheless, I think it was a better overall show than the first one. When it comes to the censorship, though, they are censoring curse words, which I find ironic because, they're allowing ass, which Chad Morton definitely said, but they're bleeping out shit. And I'm like, what's the difference between ass and shit?
Well, shit comes out of your ass.
Like one comes out from the other. We all have it. We all do it.
It's HBO.
It's HBO. Your children should be asleep.
Yes.
How about that? Your kids should be in bed.
Yep.
Nonetheless, how do you feel about that?
Overall episode, I would give it an 8.5. I wasn't wowed by it. I was amused with with the eagle disclosing he had MILFs after him. Caleb was funny. He was entertaining. The stories were good. Spending a lot of time on Velus wasn't something I was excited for. That's nothing I haven't seen last couple of years at training camp, so it really didn't I didn't think it was necessary, but the rest of it was pretty good.
Exposed them, bro. Exposed them.
We've known that. We've
Not the
been
nation,
together.
though. Not the nation, though.
Oh,
The
not the
nation
nation.
hasn't known that. The
Well,
nation hasn't known.
Bears Nation, yes, but not the rest of the nation. We got Hard Knocks, a George McCaskey production. That's hilarious.
Yes, bullets. Yes.
Yeah, I'm excited to see more of the backup quarterbacks, especially the battle with the last 2 weeks going in. I want to see Caleb get more reps this game coming in against Cincinnati. So I'm hoping he gets 3 to 4 series and he's able to show a little bit more of his throwing. What I'm also concerned about is the line. We're moving Ryan Bates to center, and we got Pryor over at right guard now. Darnell Wright, Cole Kmet, they're doing the thing. Braxton Jones is fine. Again, I know someone over here mentioned earlier that DJ Moore and Kenyon should, not be out there as long. I'm okay with that with the veterans, especially Keenan Allen, who's year 13. DJ Moore's like year 7 or 8. Yeah, I'm cool with that.
I don't mind. I don't mind that at all. Like, to be honest with you, I don't mind if you go ahead and put, the secondary receivers. Like, if you give
Rome
them
at
maybe
one.
put
Rome
Rome
at
at
one.
one, put Rome at one, and then you work your way down with Pittis. Who else we got out there? Scott. See how he does with those guys with the starting offensive line. I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind that. Let's see how he could do it. If he can work with lesser
lesser wide receiver talent. Yeah,
lesser wide receiver talent. Even though these guys are in the NFL and they deserve all the credit, like it's hard to say lesser. You know what I'm saying? When it is what it is. But
when we say lesser, is like when you're looking at your Madden roster,
right.
and Rome is a fucking 89, and
Exactly.
Johnson's a fucking 73. That's
right.
what we mean by lesser.
Right.
Not trying to be derogatory towards them as a personal. No.
No, not even as a player.
No.
It's just like you are who you are.
Yeah.
You made it as far as you are, and I'm not going to even people know what the fuck I'm talking about. Anyway, I thought it was a great overall show. I really enjoyed it. Jose,
kickoff holder.
yeah, right, yeah, kickoff holder.
He nailed it. Nailed it.
It would go right through his hands, Chris. Like, definitely, it would go right through his hands. The kickoff holder. Yeah, he'd be screwed. I think we'd be screwed if that was the case. One thing, couple more things before we go ahead and wrap up.
Yeah,
Booker
Dude,
is on the fucking rise, and I'm more or less like, and I was intrigued by him, by the pick. I thought, maybe we could have something. Maybe he could help us out. You know what I'm saying? But now you're seeing production like this, and and you're like, man, maybe he can be more of an impact than I thought. I'm not going to go ahead and obviously the first thing that comes to mind is Mark Anderson.
Yep.
But let's not even go that far. Let's just continue to see, like I've mentioned with Caleb. Let's allow them as players to grow before we go ahead and crown them. Like, I know Caleb is different because Caleb's the first overall pick. It's hard. But with Austin Booker, I think Austin Booker has motivated himself into this position where he's a factor with starting opposite of Montez Sweat. If they don't go ahead and get another pass rusher, or if even if Dominique Robinson starts opposite of Montez Sweat, he's going to be that number. I would imagine him being the number 2 rotational guy behind, Sweat and Robinson. So he's been showing me a lot of good. 3 sacks, I think that they said. I think NFL Network had 2.5, but it was 3.
Yeah, he got another shoelace. Yeah, he got it on shoelace. The quarterback went down. That's
he went down. That's a sack. So, like I said, he had 3. Looked great. I was very happy with Austin Booker. Was there anybody else that you saw, Jose, before we go ahead and wrap, that you want to highlight?
We talked about Baskerville. We talked about Booker. We talked about the doctor. I think all of those were all the high notes that really got everyone's attention, especially because these are the stories that captivate the nation when they're watching Hard Knocks, right? Is this guy gonna make it? Is the guy not gonna make it? Booker should have a roster spot right now, and we should just give Velus Jones his walking papers. He'd be like, all right, sorry, Booker took your spot. Because in one game, he produced more than you have in the last 2 or 3 years that you've been here.
Yep. It's just that's just what it is. It's all about production, and it's from the lips and from the mouth, from the mouth of the guy himself, Ryan Poles, and his echoed by his coach and his coach's coaching staff.
Yeah.
It's going to be difficult to make this roster because we're looking for dogs and we're looking for guys that are going to contribute without hindering us. And that is not Velus Jones right now, bro.
Yeah.
It just is not. X-Men, I agree. We're on to Cincinnati. Jose, I appreciate you being on. I know it's fucking late. Like, it's all of us. All of us are suffering right now. Sorry, gee, I keep hitting this mic. All of us are suffering right now because HBO screwed up. So like my eyelids are ready to go. My wife is probably pissed. She's like, "What's going on? You said you're going to be home. You said you're going to be up in bed an hour ago." But no, that she doesn't sound like that either. She's a sweetheart. But nonetheless, like I appreciate you, dude. Let everybody know where they could find you and find us outside of TTNL.
So we do have a collaboration. I don't mind putting on TTNL on 606 Media, which is my parent company, and so I'm on every Monday Night Live on True Chicago Sports Fans podcast. We're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, everything. So we have Ivan show. This one. We have what's the I keep forgetting the name of your show.
Late night. I have to go. It's been a lot of Bears, and you know how it is when it ramps up. But there will be another local sports tonight coming
local
soon.
Sports tonight. I'm over here. It's late night with Ivan.
That actually, hey, that might, babe, how do you feel about late night with Ivan?
Well, that's how you got kids.
I got there was no response. So anyway, but anyway, I appreciate you, Jose. Like I said, man. Well, check out True Chicago Sports Fans. I'm on there all the time. Like just check out 606 Media. We'll be on there all the time. Jose will be definitely dropping in more and more this season
100%
and contributing. But thanks, Jose. I appreciate you, bro. Go get some rest.
Brother. Yeah, definitely. Thank you. All right, take care.
Later. All right, guys. That was Jose Big Z from 606 Media, True Chicago Sports Fans. Like I said, I enjoyed the episode. I just wish it was a little bit sooner. I will be watching some of it as I lay in bed trying to go to sleep and wind down after this show. Like this show really gives me a jolt. So it's like, it's almost like working out. It's like you have to kind of wind down after the workout in order to, settle yourself and, go to sleep and whatnot. But anyway, I appreciate everybody out there. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the Tape Never Lies Network. Make sure you become a patron today at www.thetapeneverlies.com. I will be back tomorrow night with the fellas on Keeping It 100. Be more to talk about. I'm sure the guys will be giving their opinions on the show. Actually, 100% they'll be giving their opinions on the show. And also we're gonna try to get a pre-game show going for you guys. I know family stuff happens, so it's harder for me to do things now. I got the babies growing up, but regardless of that, we're gonna try to get a pregame show going with you guys. I think something, maybe something with me and another host here on the show might be in the works. I'll let you guys know about it real soon. But anyways, appreciate you guys. Thank you for joining me on another Bear Show. Have a good night. Peace.